Good morning. My name is Sir Dave, and welcome to my class.
So our lesson for today is getting started with Microsoft Excel. Next is navigating the worksheet. So workbook is a file that contains one or more worksheets. So worksheet is a single sheet within a workbook that contains rows and columns. So let's now navigate the worksheet. So first open a new blank worksheet. Okay, so the default sheet is sheet 1, and then add sheet 2, and then the sheet 3, and then select the cell A1. You can view the address or the reference of your active cell by viewing the name box. So the name box will show you the references or the active cell or the name of the active cell of your spreadsheet. So now let's perform the following actions by using the shortcut keys and identify that sheet or active cell that we are in here. So the first action to perform is move to the next sheet in the workbook. You can click the shortcut keys by clicking the control and then the page down. Control, page down. Okay, so the active cell now or the active sheet now is the sheet 2. So to move to the previous sheet in the workbook, click control and then the page up. Next in sheet 1, in the name box, type G10. Now the active cell is G10. So let's perform an action. So move one cell up by clicking the arrow keys or the arrow up keys. The active cell now is the cell G9. Next, move one cell left by clicking the left arrow key. The active cell now is H9. Move one cell down by clicking the arrow down key. The active cell now is H10. And then move one cell right by clicking the right arrow key. And the active cell will now go back to cell G10. Now you can move to the beginning of the row by clicking the home tab in your keyboard. Okay, this is the beginning of the row. Okay. Now you can move to the beginning of the worksheet by clicking the control home. Okay, now the active cell now is the A1. You can move down one screen by clicking the page down. The active cell now is the cell A22, and then you can move up one screen by clicking the page up. And then you can go to a specific cell if you want to go to the specific or specified cell or the cell that you want to go. Okay, you can go to your name box part and then type, for example, the XFD1. XFD1 means column XFD, row 1, and then click enter. So the active cell now is the XFD1. You can also create a range for this part. Okay, so now let's go back to A1, then click enter. Then we will now select this range from A1 to FE10. Okay, simply type A1 colon E10 and then click enter. So now let's go to mouse pointer appearances. So mouse pointer changes its shape to indicate different functions. The first mouse pointer appearance or the mouse pointer is the arrow. So the arrow is used for menus or for moving a selection. So this is the red arrow. The default color of the arrow is white. So it says the arrow is used for menus or moving a selection. Next mouse pointer is the tick cross. So this is the tick cross. So the tick cross is the general pointer for selecting cell or a group of cells. Next is the I-beam or a insertion point, indicates the cursor position when editing a cell entry. So this is the I-beam or the cursor. You can also create that in the I-beam. So this is the I-beam. Next is the fill handle. It's used for copying a formula or extending data series. For example, here in A1 or cell A1, I will type 1 and then the fill handle will appear if your cursor go here in this part of your cell. Okay, the right lower part of your active cell. Then click and hold and then drag it down to copy the value of cell A1 up to cell A6. You can also modify your the value by clicking the fill series. Okay, so now the value will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next is the double arrow appears at the borders of the column headings and is used to widen a column. So this is the double arrow to widen the column. And then this is also the double arrow, okay, for rows to widen the rows. Next is the row pointer. So row pointer, you can select, this is the row pointer. You can select the column and then the rows or the entire row of your worksheet. Now let's go to working with cell and ranges. So Microsoft Excel worksheets are made up of rows and columns that form cells. So a cell is the intersection of a column and a row. So a column is a vertical group of cells that run from the top of the page to the bottom, each identified by letters, for example, A, B, C, or column A, column B, or column C. So a row is a horizontal group of cells that runs from left to the right. So each identified by numbers 1, 2, 3, or rows 1, row 2, and row 3. So each cell has its own name or cell address. So it is a combination of a column letter and a row number. So you can see a cell address in the name box. Okay, notice that the column letter comes first, followed by the row numbers. So this is the name box again. This is the active cell or the cell. Okay, so every time you move your active cell, the name box here will show the address of your active cell. Okay, you can also click the range here, but the name box will only show the first active cell. And select the range you want, for example, colon 8, 8, and then click enter. And then A1, colon B8, enter. And you can simply select the range by click and hold the cursor up to the range that you want to highlight. So now let's go to managing rows and columns. So you can insert and delete cells, rows, and columns in your Microsoft Excel worksheet. Okay, for example, here is grade 5. Okay, grade 5. Okay, you can insert cells by clicking here, and then right click, and then click insert, then shift cells down if you want to insert cell on the top of your active cell, or shift cells right if you want to insert cell in the left of your active cell, or you can also insert entire row or entire column. So now let's select the shift cells down. Okay, you will notice that the value grade 5 goes to cell A2. You can also delete this part, select the entire row, and then click delete. You can also add the entire row by clicking the row here, and then click insert. And then you can also add column by clicking the entire column here, and then insert. You can also hide and display rows and columns. So click this part, then right click, then you can click hide. To display the column again, so simply go here. So notice that the cursor of your mouse is changed its appearance again, and then right click and then unhide. Same with the rows here, hide, then unhide. You can also modify the alignment of your cell. Okay, same with Microsoft Word by clicking here the alignment section, or the alignment group of your Microsoft Excel. Center align, the align left, the align right, and then you can choose also the middle align. For example, here, as you can see, your value in your cell B2 is bottom align. Okay, bottom align center. Okay, to move that in the middle align center, click the middle align in the alignment group, and your value now will be in the middle align center of your active cell. And then the last one is merge cells and split merge cells. So merge cell is a single cell that is created by combining two or more cells. So to merge the cell of every column or every rows in your worksheet, simply highlights or select the range of the column you want to merge, and then click the merge and center. There are options for the merge and center, the merge and center, merge across, merge cells, and unmerge cells. Okay, so click the merge and center row, or the active cell, or the range of A1 to E1 will be merged. It will become one cell. So this is the row. You can also merge and center them. So that's it for today. So I hope you learned something in our lesson.
That's all for today. God bless.